Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel Easy Mathematics. In this video lecture we are going to know about argument. So what is argument? An argument is a sequence of statements. Emphasize on this word. Each statement or proposition, statements are also called the propositions also. So each statement or propositions except the last one in the argument is called the premises. So what is premises? Premises means whatever you told previously, these all are the premises, and the final or the last proposition, that means your final statement or the last statement, is called the conclusion. So argument is what? That is the sequence of statements where all those statements are the premises and the last one is the conclusion. Well, with an example we should understand what is argument, then I hope you understand and you have no confusion. So just I have given a rough work here. So if I do online classes, I am giving you the few arguments, okay. So if I do online class, then I cannot order pizza. Well, if I do online class, then I cannot order a pizza. This is our first statement which comes in our mind. That means suppose a student he is about to start his online classes and he is thinking all those. So if I do online classes, then I cannot order a pizza. If it is raining, then internet does not work properly. So this is the second thinking. After that, without internet, I cannot do online class. So this is your third thinking. And after that, I shall order pizza if it is raining. So that is the fourth imagination which comes in your mind. And finally, what happened? I do online class. So just observe here, there the total 5 sentences are there. If I do online classes, then I cannot order a pizza. If it is raining, then internet doesn't work properly. Without internet, I cannot do online class, and I shall order pizza if it is raining. And finally, I do online class. So this type of combination, that means this is entirely the argument, and here the first four arguments are called the premises, and the last one is the conclusion. Okay. So in this way we can form the arguments, and in mathematical logic we should find out that this argument is valid or not. That means whatever you are just saying or whatever the things you are telling to us, that one have a validity or not, that we have to check for the argument. So here these 4 premises we have, and on that basis this is the conclusion part. So this entire form is valid or not, we should verify that. If it is a valid argument, if it is valid entirely, then we can say the argument is valid. That means it is a true argument. And if it is not valid, then that means we say whatever we told, that is not true and this is a fallacy. So what is argument? I hope you understand. So this argument have 2 type of outcomes. Either it is a valid argument, or it is an invalid argument, or it is a fallacy. That means invalid arguments are called the fallacy. So for a valid argument, we can say a argument is valid, is said to be valid if the conclusion is true whenever all the premises are true. So what does it mean? In the argument, whatever be the arguments are given, the previous statements all are the premises. If all those premises are, all individual those premises are true, and for those all true premises, if we find out that our conclusion is also true, then we can say the argument is valid. Well, with example also we verify this validity or the fallacy of an argument. So here a general example I can say you that if suppose P1, P2, P3, Pn, these are all the premises and Q is the conclusion part, then what happens? This all P1, P2, P3, Pn, if these are true, then as a consequence Q is also true, then we can say it is a tautology. That means if we just combine them, that is P1 and P2, that means we just combine all those premises, and as a implication we find out Q, and if it is a tautology, then it is a valid argument. So well, we connect the tautology here, that means whatever with the premises we just connect, and as a consequence the conclusion is there and all are true, that means it is a tautology, then it is a valid argument. So here one example is, consider the following argument involving the sequence of propositions. So first of all, I am giving you the different sentences. Each sentence is the premises, remember, and on that basis we are going to verify that our conclusion is true or false. So if you have password, then you can log on to the network. This is your first premises. Second one is you have the password, and the third one is you can log on to the network. So these are the three statements. So what I told you for the definition of the argument, whatever be the arguments or the statements are given, all the statements except the last one are the premises and the last one is the conclusion. That means these two sentences are the premises and this last one is the conclusion. So now we should set mathematically these expressions first. So what should we do? At first we find out the proposition. So let P is a proposition, you have a password. So that is this one, you have a password. So that we say it is the proposition P. Now Q is another proposition, you can log on to the network. So you can log on to the network. This is your another proposition Q. So now what happened? Only these two different type of propositions we have here. So the first statement, what it says, that if you have password, then you can log on to the network. That means P implies Q. That means P implies Q, that we write here P implies Q. And the second statement is what? You have the password. So you have the password means it is just the proposition P that you have the password. So this is your first statement, this is your second statement. And in the conclusion part you have, you can log on to the network. So you can log on to the network, that is exactly Q. So what does it mean? As a given argument here it is, if P, that means P implies Q and P, if both are true, that should implies Q. So if we can verify that one, that means this argument is valid or not, depending upon that we can verify that the given entire argument is valid or not. Before that, just let me tell you, if we just combine them in this way, that means first statement and second statement, in fact whatever be the sentences statements are given, all we should combine with this and sign, and as a implication it is the conclusion, that is Q. That means P implies Q and P implies Q. This one has to be a tautology, this one has to be a tautology, then we can say the argument is true or the valid argument. So how to proceed for that? With a truth table. At first we create the truth table for this argument, and after that we conclude whatever we want. So first of all, only two propositions we have, P and Q. So based on these two propositions we have this 4 rows, 4 different combination of rows, and the first premises, these are the premises, these two, and this is the conclusion. So the first premise is what? P implies Q. So P implies Q, its outcome should be true, false, true, true, based on this P and Q. P is the another premise. Remember, the premise we should write separately, because on based of the outcome of the premises, our conclusion, whatever we find out, on that basis we can verify the argument is valid or not. So here these all are true, false, true, true, and for P we know it is true, true, false, false. So these are the premises, and conclusion is Q. Q means this one, true, false, true, false. So in the conclusion part we should write true, false, true, false. Okay, now for the tautology, what we will do, all those premises we connect by the logical connective, and after getting these outcome we take the implication with this conclusion. So when we will take that one, and as a final result, if we find out that is a tautology, then we can say the argument is valid. So well, all this long process we are not going to do, not required to do. Before that only we can have in our conclusion part. So how? So that I am explaining here. So this is our conclusion part we come to know. Now we should verify here whatever be the premises we have. Among those premises, all the premises should be true. That means where or in which situation all the premises are true. So here we shall find out that in the first row only both the premises are true, and no other situations are there where all the premises are true. So if you shall find out all the premises are true, then you should mark such particular rows, because these are our critical row. Understand, these are our critical row. So what are the critical row? We find out where all the premises are true, then it is the critical row, and based on this we should compare the conclusions respect to the critical row. If our conclusion is true, then we say the argument is a valid argument, and if whenever we have the critical row and respect to that, if our outcome is false, then we say it is not a valid argument or it is a fallacy. I hope you understand. I am repeating once more. At first, whatever be the propositions are there, based on that we create the truth table. Then the premises, whatever the premises for, we should calculate the truth values. All those truth values we verify. Whatever be the premises are given, all premises are true for which particular row or rows. For those we should now compare with the conclusion. So if conclusion true values, if we compare and find out that whatever be the critical rows we find out corresponding to all those critical rows, our conclusion is true, then we say the given argument is true or it is a valid argument. Otherwise means all the premises are true but the conclusion part is false, then we say it is an invalid argument. Okay, so in that way we can find out, and here we can say that the given argument is valid because only one critical row is present here, and for corresponding to the critical row the conclusion part is also true, so that it is the valid argument. And this particular form of argument is called the modus ponens, modus ponens or law of detachment. So just emphasize on this one, this type of form of argument if you shall find out, then it have the special name, and that is called the modus ponens. Why the special name is included? Because this type of argument we can use as the law or formula, while we have the bigger arguments to prove its validity. Well, we do one more example so that your conception becomes more clear. So first of all, it is state the following argument is valid or not, and the argument is if it rains today, then we will not have a barbecue today. If we do not have a barbecue today, then we will have a barbecue tomorrow. Therefore, if it rains today, then we will have a barbecue tomorrow. So this one is the argument. So initial whatever the arguments are there before this one, these are the premises, and this last one is the conclusion. So at first we just arrange them in terms of propositional logic. So first of all, let P is the raining today. So P means here the first argument is if it rains today. So it rains today, that we say it is the proposition P. Now we will not have a barbecue today. We will not have a barbecue today. So that one we can say it is the another preposition, that is Q. We will not have a barbecue today, that is the another prepositions. Now if we do not have a barbecue today, so that is just the negation of this one, and then we will have a barbecue tomorrow. So this is another statement. So we will have a barbecue tomorrow, that we can say it is another preposition, that is R. So now all different type of prepositions we cover up. So accordingly here P is it is raining today, Q is we will not have a barbecue today, and R is we will have a barbecue tomorrow. So three different propositions are there, and based on the given statements we will form that if it rains today then we will not have a barbecue today. So P implies Q. Then the second one is if we do not have a barbecue today then we will have a barbecue tomorrow. So that is Q implies R, and therefore if it rains today then we will have a barbecue tomorrow. That means it is P implies R, that is the conclusion. So if these two will happen then this P implies R will be there. So mathematically we can comprise this entire argument. Now we should verify its validity. So for that, as the three different propositions we have, so definitely 8 such inputs we have, 8 different inputs we have. So P, Q, R for this is the truth table, and the premises are what? This is P implies Q and Q implies R. So we just find out the P implies Q from here and Q implies R from here. So after getting these truth values, now we have the P implies R, so that is the conclusion. So its truth value also we calculate. Now we find out the critical rows. So only on the premises part we should emphasize. So here just have a look. Here these two are true, so this is the critical row. Now true false, false true, then true true. So this one is also the critical row. Here in the last two, these two are the critical rows. So total 4 critical row we shall find out here. Remember, whatever be the critical rows you find out, corresponding to all those critical rows you have to the conclusion part true, then only we can say the argument is valid. At least one of the corresponding entry for the critical row is false in the conclusion, then we say the argument is not valid or it is a fallacy. So that here just observe now the conclusion part. This is the outcome for the conclusion part. Now we compare. So these are true, it is true, so it is a valid. True true, it is again true, so it is valid. True true true, and here also it is true. So corresponding to all 4 critical rows we find out the outcome is true. That means our entire given statement is valid. Okay. So this type of expression is called hypothetical syllogism. Hypothetical syllogism. So what is hypothetical syllogism? Where 3 propositions are given, P, Q, R suppose, then P implies Q, Q implies R, then P implies R. This type of arguments if you will find out, then it is called the hypothetical syllogism, and this one also we can use as a formula while we have the bigger arguments to prove. So not only these two, we have so many such type of expressions of the arguments which we can have as a formula. On our next video we shall discuss about all such basic arguments which we can use as a formula, and we do some more examples with using those formulas and how to prove an argument is valid. Okay, so till that, have a nice day. Thank you all.